Welcome to this guide about the best settings in Mobile Legends. As a follower of this channel, you are subscribed because you want to improve your Mobile Legends gameplay. Using the right settings can increase your performance, which might lead into a higher win rate. Therefore, pay close attention to the settings and feel free to make notes to copy the settings so you can play on the best way possible. We'll start with the basic settings. It aren't the most important ones, but there are a few settings that you want to have right to improve your performance. The first setting is outline. By turning this setting on, there will be a thin black line displayed around heroes, minions and monsters. For your gameplay performance, it doesn't really matter if you turn it on or off. I have the setting turned on, but if you play Mobile Legends on a slow device, I suggest you turn this off. The next setting is a very important one and it's called camera height. By choosing the low setting, you'll see less of the map, but it can reduce lag. By choosing the high setting, it shows you a bigger area of the map. You really want to have this setting turned on high, because this increases your sight. The most players have this setting turned on high, so they have an advantage when you use the low setting. Enemies can see you earlier than you can see them, which doesn't help you when ganking or being ganked. Only use the low setting when you play Mobile Legends on a really slow device. Then we also have skill vibration. Like you probably expect, turning this on will make your device vibrate when casting a skill. This setting is up to personal preference. I have the setting turned off because it distracts me, but if you like the effect, you can leave it on. The next setting is called HD mode. Turning this on should display your match in high definition. To be honest, I can't really see the difference when the setting is turned on or off. If you have a really fast device, you can leave the setting on. Just leave it off if your device isn't the fastest anymore. In my opinion, this setting isn't worth having turned on because it's really hard to see the difference. The next one is called HFR mode and should be treated like the previous setting. Having this option turned on will make the movements run more smooth. In my opinion, Mobile Legends runs smooth enough with the settings turned off. But if your device is fast enough, you can turn the setting on to play on the most smooth way possible. Next up, shadow. Like you probably understand, you can turn the shadows on and off with this setting. Obstacles, heroes, minions and jungle monsters all have shadows on having this turned on. I think turning this on will have a more realistic view of the map, so I suggest you turn the setting on. If your device is slow, you can leave the setting off to reduce the amount of lag. The setting creep HP you definitely need to turn on when you play as a jungler. By enabling this setting, you are able to see the exact HP of a jungle monster. It also shows the amount of damage you deal with retribution. When you play as a jungler, you need to kill the monsters as efficiently as possible. Therefore, you need to know the exact amount of HP a monster has and how much retribution deals to kill it fast and continue with your farming route. It are this kind of small things that add up in the long run and make you a strong jungler. The next setting is called damage text. What this does is show you the amount of damage you deal and the amount of damage you receive in number form. Turn this setting on to get a visual of how much damage you are able to deal. It also helps to see how much damage is dealt against you and what kind of damage it is. The setting colorblind filter will change the color of your HP bar. If you are colorblind, you definitely need to have this setting on. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. It's up to personal preference. Then we also have a setting that's called optimized FPS. By having this setting on, it will improve the frames per second in teamfights. I don't see why you even have the option to turn this off. Always have this setting turned on. The merge damage text setting only works when you have damage text turned on. By enabling this setting, the damage of certain skills are added up instead of displayed as individual hits. This setting is also up to personal preference. I like to see the individual hits, so I have the setting turned off. When you prefer the total damage, just turn this setting on. The last setting of the basic settings are the graphics. It really depends on the kind of device you're using to determine which setting suits best for you. Use smooth when you got a slower device and choose ultra when you have a high-end device. Anything in between, just use the one where you don't lag. Next, we have the control settings, which are the most important ones to improve how you control your hero. Let's start with the aiming method. There are 3 different aiming methods available in Mobile Legends, which determines how you aim your basic attack. We can choose between free aim, advanced aim and lock-on aim. The free aim setting is chosen by default and is the right setting for beginning Mobile Legends players. It's the most easy setting and therefore is the best one when you just start to learn the game. By using this aiming method, you just have one button to attack enemies. This method will prioritize the enemy heroes in every situation. If there are no enemy heroes nearby, the button will make you attack the minions instead. You can only attack the turret when there are no enemy heroes and minions around. Like I said, only use this setting when you are a beginner. If you're a bit more experienced, I suggest you pick the advanced aim instead. By selecting this method, there will be 2 extra basic attack buttons. The main button works just as normal. The one below your normal button will only target the minions. This can be a very useful button when you stay near the enemy turret and you want to clear the minions without getting attacked by the turret, since you won't deal damage against the enemy hero. The other button, above your normal basic attack button, only targets the turret. You can use this button if you want to attack a turret while there is still an enemy nearby. As long as you only attack the turret, it won't hit you if there are minions that can take the hits. I highly suggest you choose this setting and get used to the different buttons. This is one of the most important settings that you definitely need if you want to become a better Mobile Legends player. The third option is called Lock on Aim, and choosing this setting will also provide you with the additional buttons. By using the lowest button, you can select which minion you want to target. You can use the main button to attack the selected target. The upper button works the same, but now you can select the hero you want to attack. There is a better way to target a certain enemy hero, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm personally not a big fan of this option and I suggest you use the advanced aim option to switch efficiently between targets. If this guide already helped you to get better settings, please help this guide to give it a like. The second control setting is the targeting priority. You can choose between lowest HP percentage, lowest HP and the closest target. I suggest you pick the lowest HP option and I'll explain why. By selecting the closest target option, it doesn't take the HP of the heroes in consideration, which is not something we want. When you're in a team fight, you want to kill the damage dealing heroes first and the tank as last. For example, let's say a normal hero has 5k HP and a tank has 10k HP. When you start the fight, all heroes have 100% HP, so we will target the normal heroes when having the lowest HP option turned on. Now say the tank only has 4k HP left, which is 40%, while all the normal heroes have 50% HP left, which is 2500 HP. In this situation, you want to attack the normal heroes, since they're faster to kill because of the low HP. If you use the lowest HP percent option, you will attack the tank, since it has a lower percent HP than the other heroes. But if you use the lowest HP option, which uses the absolute number, you will target the normal heroes instead. So using the lowest HP option can prevent your team from yelling at you that you focus on the tank in a hectic team fight. A better way to select the right hero you want to attack is the following option, called Hero Lock Mode. If you have this option on, an avatar appears above your skills when an enemy is in sight. You can click on the avatar of the hero you want to target. This way you can attack that annoying marksman, even when he has higher HP than the other heroes. This option is very important for assassin heroes, since it helps to target the right hero to kill it effectively. Next option, skill smart targeting. This one adds an extra feature for all skills where you have to select a target to attack, just like the stun skill from Eudora. Normally, when a hero is out of range, you just can't cast the skill. But with this option enabled, you're able to select the target even when it's out of range. Your hero will walk towards the target and then cast the skill. I personally don't use this option, but if you think this will help you, you can enable this option. The option called Basic Attack Smart Targeting is the same, but it applies to basic attack instead of skills. Also, this is up to your personal preference, but I have turned it off. The following option is called Camera Shift, and I have turned this on. By enabling this option, your hero gains a larger sight for skills that have a big range. This is especially useful for heroes like Moskov, Layla and Selena. It not only makes it easier to hit a target from a distance, it can also be used to get a bigger view of the map. Another option is the assisted aiming mode. This will help you to aim when you select a target by one of the previous mentioned ways. If you have this option on, the skill will automatically aim towards the selected target's position. I suggest you turn this option on to make it more easy to aim your skills. If we move on to the next option, we'll come across Skill Level Up Settings. This option will upgrade your skills if you don't do this by yourself. You can select after how many seconds you want this to happen. I suggest you turn this off or at a higher spectrum of time, so you can always choose which skill you want to level up. The building purchase setting option is the same as the previous one, but applies to your items. Turning this on will auto buy items from your build when having sufficient gold. I suggest you turn this setting off, so you can always adjust your build according to the enemies. It's really important you learn which heroes and items are strong against a certain hero to increase your chance of winning. I try to provide as much of this information through my videos as possible to help you become a better Mobile Legends player. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so the information helps you to become better and stronger. Next, we have the joystick setting. You can choose if you want your joystick on a fixed position or not. I like to have it not fixed, so I turned it off. This setting is also up to personal preference. Another option that may be useful to turn on is the turret HP shift option. By turning this on, you can see the HP of the turret from a bigger distance. This way you don't have to check the minimap or walk closely to check the HP of it, so turn it on. At the skill wheel setup option, we have the sensitivity you can adjust. By adjusting it, you can adjust the speed of dragging your skill. This is also up to personal preference, but I like to have the sensitivity high. Also, to cancel the casting of a skill, you have two options which can be adjusted in the cost cancelling settings. You can choose to drag the skill towards the cancel area when selecting the first option. You can also choose to cancel it by dragging it a certain distance. Also, this option is up to personal preference, but I like to have the cancel area to cancel the skill. The very last setting of the control settings is the camera movement settings. If you didn't know already, this area can be used to move your camera to check the map. With this setting you can select the sensitivity. I like to have this setting on the high side, so you move the camera a big distance without much movement. If you copy those settings, you have the most important ones to improve your Mobile Legends gameplay. There are also a few other settings, but this doesn't affect your gameplay, so I won't bore you with it. If this video helped you to use the best settings, please give the video a like and share it with your friends. If you don't know where to find the subscribe button, it's just below the video. You can use the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video gets uploaded. As always, thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.